We're coming up to the end of the financial year. We're in June, right? So the financial year is about to finish. It's interesting, right? I mean, Australia is an amazing country, right? We're blessed. You come to Australia and there's some of the highest income rates in the world, right? You earn some of the best money anywhere on earth. And that's one of the blessings. But one of the things that sucks about living in Australia is, man, the government, my belief is the government takes too much of your hard-earned money. That's what I believe. The government just takes too much of your money. Too much of your money, bro. First of all, the government, bro, you suck at managing money. Why don't you just get better at managing the money you have? That way you don't need to, take so much of everyone's hard-earned money. Man, people out there hustling and grinding, man, just to get by. And you're in there with your hands, fingers in the till, like, calm down, y'all. But one of the cool things about Australia is there are ways that you can legally reduce your income tax, right? And one of the cool ways is through property. So the Australian government made a decision. They will allow investors to supply housing for people that can't afford to buy homes. There's a lot less social housing, and to do that, to incentivize that, they put into place, gearing benefits for investors who buy properties to provide housing for people who cannot afford to buy a home. Those people need to live somewhere. About 30% of all people that live in Australia rent. The government's figured out, they've done the maths, that it's cheaper for them to provide incentives to property investors than it is for the government to go and buy 30% of all the property in Australia and then maintain its upkeep. It's just cheaper, it's better economics. So what that does is it provides an amazing opportunity for mums and dads, people like you and me, everyday hardworking Australians, to be able to build wealth through property and get amazing tax advantages. So when we talk about, tax, what we're talking about is how can property help me to minimize my income tax? That's the first thing. Second thing is how do I maximize any tax advantages that I can get from being a property investor and investing and building wealth through property? And number three, how do I meet my tax obligations? How do I ensure that I'm meeting my tax obligations? Now, what you'll be interested to learn, man, there's some really cool things that you can do. One, you can offset your losses in property against your income tax. That's how you pay less tax. But the other cool thing is what people don't realize is you can get the advantages of that. You don't have to wait to the end of the year. You don't have to wait to the end of the financial year, guys. Working with the accountants here at Teach Me About Property within our ecosystem, there's forms and there's strategies that they can do so you get every pay cycle, whether you get paid weekly, fortnightly or monthly, your tax is reduced at the pay so you get more money every time you get paid, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is as you reduce your taxable income, the savings you get, you can use that to build more wealth through property. You can't do this in every country in the world, guys. In a lot of countries, in fact, you definitely can't do this. But Australia is one of the places where it allows property investors to offset the losses in property against the income that they earn under their own name. So is it possible to get your tax bill, your income tax bill, all the way down to zero through property? It actually is, guys, right? It actually is. And how would you do that? Like I said, you work with the ecosystem, the experts here, the tax experts, and use property acquisition as a way to reduce your tax bill all the way down to zero. And that's crazy, right? Because I come all the way back to the start. I believe the Australian government takes way too much of your hard-earned money. So we can build wealth through property and use that same wealth and property, and we can use that to minimize the amount of tax that we're paying. Why? Because as property investors, we're providing social housing needs for everyday Australians that can't afford to buy their own home. The government has outsourced that to me and you, right? And so that's why the advantages exist. So if you want to find out how to do that, boom, let's keep talking. Much love, whānau. Peace out. A-Town.